Hello, welcome to class. We're doing a bare bones basics beginner yoga flow. And I'm so excited to bring this to you because I feel like we sometimes get ahead of ourselves in teaching and we forget that some people don't have access to props or yoga mats. So today you need none of those things. You don't need any props and you don't need even a yoga mat. I will be using my yoga mat just because I prefer to practice with one. And the benefits of using a yoga mat just means you have a dedicated space, a surface to practice on. And typically yoga mats are a little bit grippy. So as I'm practicing, I can press into the yoga mat and feel like I have a bit more stability. But that doesn't mean that you can't provide that for yourself with a carpet, with a rug, or even just like on your floors and maybe having grippy socks or something. So you make it work for you. So let's go ahead and start with the beginners. I'm talking to you, besties. So we are going to be doing something called a sun salutation. And so that means we step to the top of our mat. So pick one part of your mat. Which way do you feel like would be the top? So for me, I do have a little something on the top of my mat over here. So for me, it makes the most sense to stand at the top over here. So when I say top of the mat, that's my dedicated space. When I say back of the mat, this would be my dedicated space. So just kind of orient yourself. And you can do that with whatever material you use for your dedicated yoga space. I'm just using the term mat very loosely. So as we come to the top of the mat, let's focus on lifting up our toes and setting them down, gripping the mat with our toesies, squeezing our bum, and then relaxing everything. Oh, like we're settling in. We're feeling the mat, the space that we've created. And then our hands might come off to the side. So take our shoulders up by our ears and then let them fall down. And then our hands are coming out to the sides. Take our feet a little bit wider now and bend, have a little slight bend in the knee. Okay, that knee bend might be a lot, and then just like back it off a little. You know what I mean? We just don't want to lock out our knees. And then think about our hips. We like to sometimes tuck a rooney a lot. Sometimes we like to stick it out a lot. And you know what? I get it. We've got something back here. We want to show it off, but for this one, we want a neutral spine. So we're just kind of going through from the bottom to the top, aligning our spine. And then once we get up to our shoulders, they might be forward again, bring them up by the ears, roll them down and back, hands come out to the sides. Our chin might even need a little tuck, you know? So our spine is like being pulled in opposite directions and feeling that length that's happening. Like you're creating tiny little spaces in between all your little vertebrae. So the reason why it's important to do this is to know what this alignment is in your body. So when I say tall spine, this is what I mean, tall spine. We want to feel the length in our spine. Like, yeah, like I've never been able to breathe this good. You know what I mean? Like that's the space, like you're creating all this openness in your body so you could breathe better. So this pose is called mountain posture or Tadasana. So asana means posture. Tada means mountain. Tadasana. Got it? Tadasana. So taking this Sanskrit word and then the English version. You hear it from different yoga teachers. Some teachers like to practice with English, some like to practice with Sanskrit. It's based off of whatever their preference is. I like to mix it up a little. And for beginners, I like to break it down a little bit too. So let's go ahead and just settle into this mountain posture. We're feeling strong like the mountain. We're standing tall. This is like the beginning of all the standing postures. It's an important posture to learn how to do. It might just feel like you're just standing here, but you could definitely turn on some things. So like maybe feel those muscles kind of stick into the bones. So engaging some things and then relaxing the muscles. So you're like, I feel my body stacking, right? Now, as you feel this body feeling, we're getting into some feelings in this class. Maybe we can take a hand to the belly, a hand to the heart, and take a deep inhale through the nose. And then an open mouth, exhale. So we're kind of clearing out those breathways. Inhale again, open mouth. One more time on your own. Now I want you to seal your lips and begin to breathe through the nose. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. So inhaling that whole time. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So as we inhale, we're lengthening that breath. So let it be slow and sweet. And then exhale, we're lengthening that exhale. Same amount, both sides. Inhale, exhale. If you have the ability to do both sides, the inhale and the exhale through the nose, you might find yourself creating like an ocean-like sound. So maybe like a little hum as you exhale. This is called your Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath. And we're starting super basic. We got our mountain posture, and we got our breath, and we got our Sanskrit. Like that's the basis of yoga. The whole point of yoga is to breathe. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. That I want you to take that with you. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. When the first people who did yoga began, there was one posture. It was sitting on a mountain and breathing. They developed more postures so they could get stronger, so they could sit longer. That was the whole point of yoga, was to breathe. So we need to make sure we understand this breath work. And it is boring, I get it, but it is important. So let's inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And take that breath however you'd like. You can stay with the 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. You could go to 5, 6, lengthen it a little more. Explore the breath. Let your body get really big and then really small, right? So feeling that expansion happening, feeling that that breath is entering your body. It's so important. Once you tap into that breath, I want to encourage you to maybe think of a word that might feel good today. And it might be, I'm learning, I'm a beginner, I'm just trying something. There's no perfection here, okay? Allow yourself to be a beginner today. Allow yourself to look at this with beginner eyes. Even if you've had a practice in the past, I feel like you could look at today's practice like something that you've never done before. So let's just be here. So inhale, I am. Exhale, beginner. Inhale, I am. Exhale, a beginner. If that's how you want to do it. It's up to you. This is your practice. I'm just facilitating the movement, okay? All right, so let's come back to the top of our mats if we strayed away. Get settled here. And let's begin by circling our arms to the top or towards the sky, towards our ceiling, towards wherever we need our hands to go to be above our heads. That might mean the ground if you're upside down, baby. So inhale, we circle. Exhale, maybe our hands come together. And then as we exhale, we push into our hands, creating this little, I'm creating all this energy coming right into myself again. Let's circle again. And I like to kind of slight bend the knees, circle the arms, reaching up. And maybe my back kind of lifts. We don't want to dump. We just want to create that lift. Like we're little fairies twinkling through the garden and bring our hands right back to heart center. So inhale, we're light, we're fairy-like. Exhale, bring our hands right back to heart center. One more time, we're circling. Exhale, bring it back to heart center. And then pause here. Okay, deep inhale. And an exhale. Yes, you see how that works? So now we're going to go into that next, which is a forward fold. So as we kind of bring our hands to heart center, we will hinge at the hips. So look at my back. We don't want no round backs. Our back is flat. We will come into our forward fold. And my hips just totally popped because I haven't even done a forward fold today. And as I'm forward folding, look at my feet. Heel toe. Maybe I know that my belly is going to touch my thighs and I'm going to create some space. So I can push into the sides of my belly and let it kind of tuck between my thighs as I come down. So tuck, tuckaroo, okay? So let that happen. Bending of the knees, widening of the feet, push into the sides of the belly and let yourself come. Maybe just reaching towards the ground, depending on your flexibility, or maybe hands are settling on your thighs. So as we come into this position, adjust our beautiful bellies. Hands are either reaching or at our thighs. Relax our head, look towards the back of the mat. Take a deep inhale, exhale, maybe go a little deeper. Inhale, maybe lift up a little bit. Exhale, we lower a little bit. And then bend the knees, and we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. So as I slowly lift up my chest, my booty is going to tuck first. My head is going to stay down. And then let my arms even dangle. So it's almost like I'm unwrapping my spine. Head comes up last. Okay. Deep inhale here. And an exhale. Yeah. Okay. Circle the arms. Exhale, bring our hands to heart center. Hinge forward. Maybe adjust your beautiful belly. Forward fold. Roll up one vertebrae at a time, all the way back up to the top. One more time. Circle the arms. Exhale, we fold. Hinge at the hips. Adjust our beautiful bellies. Inhale, we roll back up one vertebrae at a time. Yeah, our hair is going to attack our faces because we didn't use enough product. That's the life I live. Here we go. Take a deep inhale and an exhale. All right, let's add on. Okay, inhale, circle. Exhale, we fold. Now that we're in a forward fold, I want you to think about your hand placement. Bring it to your thighs, regardless of where your flexibility is. Relax your head so that your neck is long. And now lift up so that your torso is aligned with the earth. I know these are weird things to say, but like parallel to where your mat is, okay? Now I want you to bend your knees a lot and stick your booty back. And try to take that roundness out of your back. So you might be looking like this. Try to bring your booty back and your back flat. Okay? We don't want no round backs. And if you need to lift up a little bit, then do that. So settle in. Here is your halfway lift, right? We're looking between our feet. We're looking down so it creates that length in our spine that we created at the beginning of practice. Exhale, we fold. This time a flat back. So we're not rounding up. We circle our arms as we come all the way up. So we're kind of connecting where we began and where we end. Exhale, hands come down to our center, our heart center. So it's like that space in our chest between where our sternum lies. Deep inhale. Exhale. So on that next exhale, hands keep going down, hinge at the hips. And forward fold. So forward fold means our back can be a little bit round. Our hands can come to the ground, or maybe kind of in this place where it's on the thighs, on the shins, whatever feels right for you. You pick a placement and you just go there each time, okay? So we're relaxing, forward fold. Inhale, we come up a halfway lift. I like to bring hands to thighs, but you could bring it to shins, or some people have enough flexibility to keep hands on the ground. But I encourage you thighs for this practice. And again, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we fold again. Inhale, we lift, rise up all the way, circle the arms, and then exhale, bring our hands to heart center. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. And did you notice every single movement, there is an inhale and there is an exhale. That's why we focus on breath work so much. All right, beginner, bare bone, basics, yoga. We love it. This is called a half sun salutation. So we're just doing the beginning parts of it for beginners. How many times can I say beginner? Inhale, let's circle the arms. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. So this time, flat back, circle the arms, hands plant. Exhale, bring our hands to heart center. We're going to keep going. So what would come next? A forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, all the way, flat back. We don't want no round back. Circle the arms, hands come to the top, press them together. Exhale to heart center and pause. Deep inhale here. Exhale. Okay, so we just did it like twice. Let's add on to where we're going to do it 3 times in a row now, so we know where we're going. And we can keep on moving through the practice, baby. Okay, so this is where it all begins, is by practicing the same thing over and over again until you can do it without even doing anything. Like you can just boom, boom, boom. And your teacher will always give you direction. Just be reassured. This is not an Ashtanga practice. This is a Vinyasa practice, which is 2 different types of yoga. Ashtanga isn't really led by a yoga teacher. Vinyasa, every single cue is usually given by the teacher, which is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and inhale. We circle the arms. Exhale, we fold, forward fold. I'm taking my legs wide because they came together somehow. Push into my beautiful belly, forward fold. We're going for 3 times, remember? Inhale, halfway lift. Stick the booty back. Look between your feet. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise with our flat back. Circle the arms. Exhale, we're going right back into it as our hands come down. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. This is our second round. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. We're going to do it one more time. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. Exhale, bring our hands to heart center and pause. Breathe. Settle in. You may have lost your breath there. You may have thought you had it and then was like, wait, nope. So wherever you were at, it was amazing. The fact that you're showing up is amazing. All right, friends, let's add on, shall we? So after we halfway lift, there is a step back into a plank. Now, let's just practice this a little bit before we just jump into it. My favorite way to teach this is by reminding you that you can take your toes out, because here's the thing, we usually have our beautiful bellies right here, okay? Our beautiful bellies and our beautiful other body parts can get in the way. So if you were to come down where your knees are facing forward, sometimes that doesn't give you enough space to step back easily unless you have a really, really good practice. Like this is a difficult step for beginners. And I want to give you a different option so that you feel like you could do it easily, because what happens a lot of times is we fall to our knees. And that's fine. Falling to our knees is fine. We're beginners. We are learning, right? So here's another option for you. Take our toes out. And as we come down, find a little froggy squat. Because what happens a lot of times is we just need that extra something to get our hips out, right? Our hips might not quite be in the space where if everything is in the center line, we can't, we can't get that move. So here we go. Toes out, hands down, plant the hands. We want the hands planted. Spread the fingers, spread them, okay? Grip the mat like there's no tomorrow. This is going to be your feet for a second, okay? So plant them, spread them, dig in, and now lean forward so weight is on your wrists. Lean forward. Now, keep this foot down, take this foot back, and now bring it back. I know, and if this is a lot, bring your knee down and just take the one foot back, okay? And then plant your hands, other foot back. We're beginners, so we can bring our knees down if that feels good, and then step back. That's totally fine too. So let's practice again. Stand up. Here's that transition. Okay, and this is the transition where sometimes we don't get enough practice time and we feel a little lost, and I want to avoid that. So we come down, hands are down, grip the mat, maybe your knee comes down, step back, and maybe you set your knees down, okay? So lots of options. Let's practice it one more time. And you can try it with the toes out, hands down, or you could even just plant your hands down, bring your knees down, step one foot back, other foot back, and then set the knees down, okay? So you've got options. Let's just play with that one more time. I know. So I showed the froggy one. Hands can come down, knee down, foot back. Okay, that's our other option. So you've got your froggy, down, lean forward, step back, then our knees come down. Or hands down, knee down, step back, okay? Again, we are not doing this with any props, so make this work for you. I want to give you as many tools as I can and options as I can so this makes sense for you and your body. Okay, so before we jump into it, yes, it's perfect. I have to check the time. You think I have a giant clock on my wall? No, I don't think that far ahead. I still am getting this room set up, so it is what it is. All right, top of the mat. Yes. Circle the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge at the hips. Take our feet a little wider. Adjust our beautiful bellies. Forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. And here is where we decide. Toes out. Plant the hands. Take our hips down. And I think hips down is just such a great way to kind of get into plank, because sometimes it feels like we're going to fall if our hips are up. So we can take our knee down, step back, and then step back, or knee down here, step back, step back. So find your plank and then come down to the knees. So here's our plank, knees down. And then let's just kind of shake out our wrists for a minute because we are having to put a lot of pressure on them. Okay, so wiggle the fingers. Do our little flashlight. Dee, 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 dee. Spread our fingers a lot. Scrunch up our hands. Ba, 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 ba. Make all the weird noises because we are deserving of being weird in yoga. Circle the wrists. I feel like all I see is serious yoga teachers nowadays. Aesthetically pleasing, gorgeous yoga teachers. I love that for them. That is not me. That is not me. I can't do it. Thank goodness for that. You know what I mean? We all are different. We all can bring something different to the table. All right. Come back. Hands and knees. And now here's the difference. This is tabletop. See how my back is flat? And what I want you to do is take your hands a little bit more forward so that our booty comes down. If that's not comfortable, you can stay in that tabletop. Okay, so here's where we're at. We just kind of stepped through, right? So here's where we're at. We're in our plank. So this is kind of, we're gonna workshop the second half of this through without like adding on every single time, okay? And then we'll kind of tie it all together. So the thing you need to do here is lower down, like bend at the elbows. But here's what I want you to look at is where my creases are of my elbows, okay? And they are gonna wanna do this and go like this. It's okay, but in yoga, we do something called a Chaturanga Dandasana, which is a four-limbed staff pose. And it essentially means we are like this. So let me just show you what it means. It means we're like this. So we're like hovering. We're hovering. And so we have to get there. We have to get there. We're here in our plank and we have to get to our four-limbed staff pose. And so how do we do that? We lower down. And when you're a beginner and you haven't been practicing, I don't want you to lower all the way down. So this is what I want you to do instead. And you have no props. We're doing this no props, sans props. So this is what I want you to do instead. Grip with the fingers, lower down an inch and push right back up. And then I want you to look up towards the sky. Now, if you have the spinal flexibility to let those hips kind of drop a little bit, then that's up to you if you want to do that. So we can kind of look up and let the hips drop. This is just one option, okay? Go ahead and come off those wrists. Doing yoga means a lot of like wrist work. It does. So just kind of shake them out. And I have a bunch of videos on like yoga for wrist stuff. So check that out. So hands come down. We find our plank again. Lower down an inch, push back up, and then look up. So now this is our upward facing dog. So that is one option. Okay, lower down an inch, push back up, and look up, and maybe hips come forward. Another option is to just go to the belly, is to just get down on the belly, right? You can just kind of get yourself there however you want to. It doesn't have to look like a perfect chaturanga, Okay, so now we're on our ground, our bellies are on the ground, and our hands, look at where my hands are, it's by my chest. I want you to bring them back a little bit. So you see how now they're making more of an L shape. They're kind of by my rib cage, like my lower rib cage. And looking between my mat, so that length of the spine, it is still happening. The length that's happening in my spine. My hair is just like, poof, I need to attack the mat. Pew, pew. Tuck our chin, look in between, squeeze the shoulder blades, right? And now I want you to look up gently. We're not pushing into the hands. We're not trying to do this. This is not what we're doing. We're not doing that right now. Okay, so squeeze the shoulder blades. And then just look forward. Exhale, we lower down. Nose comes to the mat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Okay, now here, I want you to squeeze your bum and point your toes. Squeeze our shoulder blades, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, we look up. Exhale, we lower down. Okay, now I want you to tuck your toes enough to where maybe your knees come under you and push yourself back up so that you find this kind of extended, I want to say a down dog, but it's like knees down, down dog situation. Okay, so this is where I want you to go, however you want to get there. Just allow those knees to come down and our hands are out in front of us. So tuck our toes, push into the mat, relax our head. Deep inhale here, exhale. Okay? Okay, now let's go ahead and take it from the plank, and then you decide what you want to do. We can lower down and then push back up, or you can get yourself down and do those cobras. So when we keep our chest on the ground and we're just lifting up our chin, that is called a cobra. A low cobra, baby cobra. People call it all sorts of things. Essentially, it's cobra. And an upward facing dog isn't this. This is not upward facing dog, because look at my shoulders. So that's why in baby cobra, we practice shoulders back and down, and then maybe our hips lift. And that's an upward facing dog, so it can help you get to your downward facing dog. So I know some people might be like, but I can do this. But you're dumping all your weight in your back. So I encourage you to just go slow. When you find something that feels good and you're not pushing, there's no competition here. And I'm saying this almost like to the former yoga version of myself, because I used to do that too, especially in a larger body. We love to prove that we are worthy of being in class. And I just want to remind you, like, you are. You don't have to do anything more than just show up and feel into your body. That's why we did that whole practice at the beginning, so that we could feel it. We aren't here to push and compare. Just needed to say that. So, love you. So glad that you're here. All right, come back to plank. We're having our knees down in our plank. Lower down an inch and push right back up. We look up, we find our upward facing dog. Exhale, hips go back, and we find this version. Just this, we're stopping right here, okay? Take a deep inhale and an exhale. Come back to plank. This time, we lower down all the way, okay? So we find that lowered down position. We adjust our hands. We squeeze our shoulder blades, squeeze our bum, point our toes, and look up, finding our cobra. Exhale, lower down, and then we push ourselves up so that we find this, okay? So do you see the difference between the two? You choose whatever feels right for you. This is your yoga practice. I'm just giving you all the tools, okay? So we're here in this extended kind of tabletop / knees down, down dog. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to push into one leg, extend it, almost like we're in a plank, knee down, and then push into the hands so that the hips lift up. Whoa! And now, go ahead and bend both of the knees. So now our booty is up, our hands are digging in, and then maybe just bring your knees all the way back down, okay? Shake it out. We felt it for a second. That's all we need right now. We don't need to do anything like crazy, like just stay there forever, because sometimes people like to label down dog as a resting posture. No, friend. No. Okay? So, hands are out. The fingers are wide. Wide. I can't say them enough. Look at my fingers. Wide. I want you to grip with those fingertips so that you see the whites of your fingertips. And here's another thing. Look at your hands. Can you make them turn into an L? Sometimes you have to turn a little bit. So think about your hand placement. Put them on the mat and think, does this look like an L? Does it need to come in a little? Does it need to go out a little? Sometimes it looks like a U and you need to come in. Sometimes it looks like some weird triangle shape and you need to go out. So just look at it. Don't just place it down and go. Don't just assume that you can like be on your body parts and be digging in and that it has you. You have to set it up properly. Spread it, dig in, whites of the fingertips, right? Whites of the fingertips. Step your one foot back. Push into the hands. We're pushing. We're lifting up. We're pushing, lifting up. Maybe this foot matches the back and we take our feet a little bit wider. Maybe we walk our feet in a little bit. Bend your knees a lot. Push. Look towards the back of the mat. Come forward. Look towards the back of the mat. Come forward. Look towards the back of the mat. So we're kind of like working those shoulders open. We got to get them open. This isn't just going to happen. Bring your knees down. Come off your wrists. I know. This is a lot on the wrists. We said that already, right? So just don't get scared by all the stuff on the wrists. You're still learning. And I'm pausing in every single posture so that you get a chance to feel it in your body. And when we go through and flow, you're not holding those postures very long. And so your wrist strength will slowly build up, especially if you take breaks and you listen to your body, okay? All right. So find your down dog again. Spread your fingers. I know. Dig in with the fingertips. Tuck the toes. Step one foot back. Push into the hands. Push. Lift up. And then put your feet in a different spot than you did before. If your feet are really far back, maybe you take them a little closer. Make your down dog more narrow. Maybe you take them a little bit wider. Maybe you bend one knee than the other. Take them in a different position. Let it feel different. Breathe. Your breath needs to come to you here more than ever before. Breathe. Usually we hold our down dog for 5 full breaths, okay? I won't make you do that. Bring your knees down. Shake out the wrists again, okay? Shake them out. I like to take the top of my wrists or hands to my thighs and push into them sometimes when my wrists are feeling sore, okay? So wiggle the fingers. You got your flashlights, you got your squeezies, you got your openies. You've got all of the different things. You can circle your wrists. These are all the tools in my tool belt and I want you to use them, okay? Okay, we're gonna do down dog again. And this time, we're also gonna step to the top of the mat and make it a full circle. I know, it's so much fun, right? Plant the hands, spread them, right? Dig in with the fingertips, step your one foot back, push into the hands, lift up the hips. We've been here before. Take your feet to the position that feels right. Maybe we rock our shoulders forward and back. Maybe we're walking our dog. Some people call this a walking of the dog. So one knee bends, other knee bends. Maybe we're just holding on for dear life. Breathe. Take a deep inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, where do we go from here? We can just bring our knees back down. We can lift up, step 1 foot forward, plant our hands down, lift up off the back knee, step your other foot forward. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, come right back to center, right? Deep inhale, exhale. We also forward fold. I forgot to finish it, and then a halfway lift and a forward fold, and then we come back to center. Okay, so there's one more little forward fold at the end, but that's how we finish our sun salutation. So just keep that in mind. So let's go back to down dog one more time. And let me give you one more option to come out of it, and we can see what works best. So again, setting up, dig in the fingertips, extend one leg, push into the hands, lift up our booties. And here, I want you to just slowly walk your feet in. Slowly walk them in towards your hands. And then once you don't feel like you can walk any further, plant your feet and then lean back so that all your weight is going onto your feet. And then you can lift up your hands. Here, we can halfway lift because we're already in that forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, circle the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay? So those are your two options. I'll show them both one more time. Okay? So from the downward facing dog, we set our knees down. We bring one foot to the top, lift up off the back knee, other foot meets the first foot, circle the arms, exhale, we fold, inhale halfway, exhale, fold, and then circle the arms. I think I added a circle, but that's okay. We do what we can. One more time, other option. So did you see? We went from down dog to tabletop to step to the front. Now we're just going to step to the front, right? So plant the hands, extend the leg back, lift up, find your down dog. Slowly walk your feet to the front of the mat. When you cannot walk any further, weight goes into the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, all the way, circle the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's just take a breath here. We finished. Yes. Okay, so that is our full sun salutation with a breakdown and options for every single one. We are going to go through that 5 times. That's what we're doing. Perfect. We are 43 minutes in, friends. Yes. You didn't think I could use 60 minutes just on one sun salutation, did you? Did you? Did you? It's happening today, baby. Yeah, I knew I could because I could talk a lot. I think it's important to talk a lot when you're speaking with beginners. And I also want to just encourage you to ask the questions down below. If for some reason you are like, whoa, that was way too fast. Whoa, that was way too many options. Whoa, I did not like that. I want to know. And if you were like, whoa, that was perfect. Whoa, thank you so much. I never knew that there were more than one option. Whoa, this was amazing. I want to know down below because that makes me a better yoga teacher too. All right. So again, top of the mat. Tall spine. Let's start off in that mountain posture. Hey, now we know, right? And then let's just start with a teensy bit of breath work. We'll breathe 3 times. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Try not to hit the wall. Exhale, this is where we step back. So how are we stepping back? Plant our hands, maybe take the toes out, squat down. Maybe we set our knees down. Get back into your plank, whatever version feels right for you here. Now, exhale, lower down an inch, push up, and maybe we look up, or our belly is down and we find our little cobra. And then on that next exhale, we push back. So knees are down, our fingers are spread. We are ready for our downward facing dog. We're ready, right? We're ready. Extend one leg, push into the hands, lift up the hips. Find that downward facing dog. Look towards the back of the mat. We are ready. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Be here. Take a deep inhale. And then on that next exhale, decide either knees down and step forward or just step forward. Up to you. You've got options, my friends. Inhale once we get up forward and find your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise. Circle the arms. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a deep inhale here. Good job, friends. That was so good. Like, you just did it. You just did it. Okay. I'm going to do it 4 more times. It sounds like a lot, but this is what is going to help you to understand a flow. And I'm not going to go super fast. We're going to go slow. Inhale, we circle the arms. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise up, halfway lift. Maybe we take our toes out, hands come down. Step back 1 foot, step back foot 2. Find your plank. Knees down, plank. And then decide cobra or lower down, push back up. And our little look up. Tuck our toes, hinge our hips back. And then maybe we lift up, find our upward or downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. On that next exhale, we walk our feet to the front of the mat. Or we let our knees come down and we step to the front of the mat. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. Circle the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we're going to keep going. So this is number 3. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Plant the hands, and maybe we take our knees down this time. Step 1 foot back, other foot back. Find our plank, and maybe our knees come down for our plank. This time, lower down an inch, push right back up. Maybe we look up for our upward facing dog. Hinge our hips back. Tuck our toes and maybe extend 1 leg, pushing up, finding our downward facing dog. Deep inhale here. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And then as you exhale, try to push into the hands like a smidge more. Maybe your feet, your ankles, or your heels are reaching towards the ground. And then decide, knees down, step 1 foot forward, or walk forward. And the other foot meets the first foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a deep breath here. We've got 2 more. We're already halfway, more than halfway through, okay? We've got this. And just pause here. Pause here. Set yourself right. We've got 2 more. We can do this. We're gonna do it together. We're gonna do it together. And you have so many options. We can do it. Let's do it. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, maybe knees down, and step back to find your plank. Bring your knees down for plank. Maybe we lower all the way down this time. Squeeze our shoulder blades, move our hands back, find our baby cobra. Exhale, push into the hands and move your hips back, tuck your toes. Extend one leg, lift up the hips, find your downward facing dog. Breathe. One more time, deep inhale. Try to get those shoulders a little more open. On that next exhale, we look forward. Step, kneel, walk, however you want to get there, to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, circle the arms. Our last one, we're going to go right into it. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Maybe we come into a kneeling position, step back into our plank, and then knees come down. Lower down, and then maybe we push back up, and we look up for our upward facing. Tuck our toes and lift up the hips for our downward facing. Find whatever version feels right for you today. Deep inhale here. And an exhale. On that next exhale, walk, kneel, and get to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way, flat back, circle the arms. This time let it be really yummy and sweet. Exhale, hands come to heart center and deep inhale. Exhale. Pause here. Let it be kind of like, I did that. I did that. That was me in my body. I could feel that. I could feel my body connecting. I knew what to do. I was breathing and moving and flowing and being in some sort of yoga vibe. That's what I'm talking about. You got this. You had this all along. It's within you. Deep inhale. And an exhale. All right, we're going to do one more thing, and it's something we do at the end of it, every single yoga practice, no matter what. And it's something called Shavasana. So, just want to see how much time I have left. Ooh, lots of time. I love this. I love this for us. Let's go ahead and come down to the ground. There's no fun way to get here. You just flop, roll down, just collapse. However you want to, okay? Now, I want you to lay on your back and allow yourself to have the back of your head touching the mat. Okay, so if you have a ponytail or something, adjust. Bend your knees, feet flat on the earth. So it's kind of like we could lift up the hips, set them down, and then move your knees from right to left, kind of like a windshield wiper. And this just kind of helps reset the spine. Yoga has a lot of spinal work, and that's why it's like such an amazing practice, because oftentimes if you have back pain or something, somebody will say, try doing some yoga. This is why, because there's so much focus and emphasis put on the spine. And then maybe we just kind of like snuggle our shoulders underneath so that we're feeling this kind of lift in the chest. So it's like a little adjustment, you know? And then maybe our hands come down by our sides, kind of like we're in mountain posture, right? So palms can face up or face down. This depends on your shoulders, and this depends on what you want. So there's also like spirituality and other things that come along with yoga. If your hands are up, it means that you are wanting to receive the gifts of the universe, right? Like that's something that's always been told to me. And if you want your palms face down, it means you need to be grounded. You need some groundwork before you can receive, or maybe you just feel like you need more balance in your life, right? So just allow yourself to choose. I love that there's always so many options in yoga. And then maybe we extend one leg and we wiggle with the other knee, just to kind of like check in on the hips. We did a lot of hip stuff. And then bend the other knee and then extend that other leg. So now we kind of go into it other side, right? And depending on your back and how you're feeling, maybe it feels better to keep your knees bent, feet flat on the earth. But traditionally, Shavasana is both legs extended and almost like your feet are pointing towards the corners of the mat. Your hands are typically down by your sides, kind of off to the side. And your chin is like tucked. So you're finding length in the spine. And what I like to remind people is to like relax. And the best way to do that is to scrunch all your muscles, including your face, your palms, your toes. Scrunch all your muscles, your core, everything. Scrunch all your muscles and then relax them all. Ugh. Deep inhale, exhale. And I want you to just like let your gaze get blurry. So let everything in the room look like one of those magic eye posters from the 90s. If you know, you know. Or just let it get blurry. And then maybe your eyelids come together if that feels comfortable. You can also keep your eyes open. And now I want you to just settle into like a natural, easy, gentle breath. This is your effortless breath that you do all day long, something that doesn't feel like you're focused on it. And the whole goal of Shavasana is to bring you back to the present. So we've just done a ton of moving. We've just moved our body. We've gone through many sun salutations. We've done a lot of work. We need to come back to our lives, and we do that with our Shavasana. So this is why you never skip Shavasana, because it's gonna like not get you back to center, okay? Always make time for it. You can just do it for 1 minute, okay? Deep inhale and an exhale. And I want you to imagine a room. It's empty. There's nothing in it. This is your safe yoga room. This is where you go for your Shavasana. And as you're in this room, your thoughts are going to come in. What do you got to do later? What's on your to-do list? What's going on? Did I hear something? How long has this been going on for? So many things are going to take you out of this moment. I want those thoughts to keep coming up. And as they do, notice them and let them turn into little marbles and roll out of your brain. This is an effort to do this. This is where the focus comes in, right? We're trying to not focus and focus all at the same time. But this is a practice. We say that, I can't do meditation, my brain is crazy. That's why we do meditation. This is why we do it at the end of practice. Our brain is crazy. We move, we calm it down, because we don't have to think about anything but the movement. But now we have to prepare ourselves, okay? So let's be here in our bodies. We just scrunched it. Maybe scrunch again. Exhale. We're in our yoga room. And now we're silent for at least 1 minute. Breathe easily. Let yourself focus on how you're feeling in your body. And if other thoughts come up, let them turn into marbles. We'll be silent for 1 whole minute. Beginning now. On that next exhale, begin to just feel sensation in your fingertips. Let yourself breathe. Maybe take a deep inhale and feel it getting nice and big in your chest. Maybe we inhale one more time, just like really filling up. One more time, like I know not much air can go in there, but you can do it. And then exhale, all of it comes out like the sweetest release. I got tingles. Wiggle your wrists, maybe your fingers and toes. Maybe both hands reach above your head. Point your toes. And then bring your hands to your belly, bend your knees, and then slowly roll to one side, push into the ground, and slowly lift yourself up to come to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart center, tuck your chin, and just thank yourself for being here. Amazing job, friends. Bring your thumbs to your third eye. So that's that little space between your eyebrows. And I'm just going to say a little something, sending you some really good energy. And all you need to do is breathe. The divine light within me honors the divine light within each and every one of you. Now I want you to tuck your chin and just gently bow. So it's just like bringing your shoulders forward. Like, yes, I just practiced and I am proud of myself. And then inhale, come all the way up. Maybe bring your hands to your lap. And we are done. That's it. Amazing job, friends. We're done with practice, and I am just so glad that you were here. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.